Hello and welcome to the Punt Pals podcast. We are back again after last week's comeback, which was very bloody exciting. Nick Kristovic, Robbie Vaughn. Oh my God, it is exciting to be back into the footy season. We have plenty to go through. Now, mate, before we get into the podcast, we just need to say, jump on our socials, Punt Pals Podcast. Follow us on your favourite podcast streaming service as well and get around us. Nick, how are you, buddy?
Great, man. Going very well, thanks. As you said, up and about because the footy has semi-kicked off and our multis have also started and all the tips are going up online. So there's now time to ride the Punt Pals train, mate, because there's plenty of kit coming up leading to the season.
Hell yeah, there is. All right, what are we doing today, mate? We're obviously going to go through the State of Origin, which was an epic day. We were both along there. What else we got on the menu for Punt Pals podcast?
Mate, this full three-course meal here on the Punt Pals podcast today, mate. We've got the questions. We're going to jump into the Hero of the Week. We toughed the top last week's Hero of the Week, but we've got a pretty good one again this week. We're going to go through our multis from the State of Origin, obviously, on the weekend. We're going to jump into some AFL predictions. We've just got a general wrap-up of the Origin. There's just plenty on, mate. And then not to, leave out the racing fans, mate. We put together a preview of the Blue Diamond at Caulfield on Saturday as well, the richest 2-year-old race in the country. So there's a bit going on, mate.
You were very onto it with the Blue Diamond as well, which I love because I am going to have full transparency here. When it's not Spring Carnival and when it's not kind of quokka time, I do dip out of the races a little bit. I still love them, but I just don't pay as much attention. So I'm very happy that you were here to get us covered.
The seasonal kind of race go around, mate, really.
Life's about seasons, Nick.
That's like a Group 1, Robbie, really. Only 10's a Group 1s. This is a Group 1 in Melbourne. We can't be there, obviously, but we've got the race preview and we've got a few tips and a multi as well as we usually do, mate.
Oh, you didn't book?
No.
I thought we were going. I booked my flight.
Oh, geez. Sorry, mate. Oh, I forgot to reply, didn't I? Oh, no.
You
didn't get a credit or something?
It's going to be awkward. I'll go by myself. End up going to the footy by myself on the weekend, so same thing.
Oh, no. Salty. Well, Sarah's still away, so let's do it.
Okay. Done. All right, book it in. This is going to be fun. So we'll fly on Friday. But before we book in those plans, my friend, we need to get to our listener questions. Of course, this is a segment we brought in the last month or so of last year. We loved it. We love hearing from you. So you can get in touch with us on Instagram, either at puntpalspod or robbievon.au or Fishtovic. So you can message us personally or you can do the actual proper Instagram.
You can pretty much ask us anything, really. We're pretty open. People asking about your career last year. There's only a few things. Remember, we delved into the expose of Robbie.
That's right. People asked about the origins of your mustache, how long you've had it for. Is that the longest it's been? There's been all sorts of questions.
Fishing bans. We've covered a wide variety of topics and we are all more than happy to. So just throw us a few curly ones. Keep us on their toes, mate.
Love that. Do you want to kick things off today?
Yeah, mate. A couple of crackers for you just to open the batting here.
Oh, look out.
Now, obviously, the State of Origin game, we'll get into it a bit more detail shortly, mate, but there was some controversy around the best on ground for the Vicks, wasn't there? And the first question is a pretty obvious one. Do you think Dacos was stiff not to receive the BOG for Victoria, which, of course, went to Lockie Ash out of the back line, mate?
Yeah, I actually do. He got 38 touches. I mean, he was very good. The funny thing is, and the reason that I'm hesitant to say it, and it's all Eddie Maguire's fault, did you see the thing during the week that he basically came out and said, I want to give my own best on ground for Victoria for Nick Dacos because he was robbed?
Eddie Maguire get one? Was Eddie Maguire?
Yeah, he just wants to make his own medal because he didn't get the EJ Wetton medal. He's his little baby boy, Nick Dacos. But it's just like how you can't win everything, guys. Collingwood is so entitled. They think he should be winning the Brownlow, even though you got to get the votes. You don't just get awarded it. I mean, they think he should have a Norm Smith. They probably think he's going to win the Rising Star this year, Nick Dacos.
Is he eligible? He probably will.
They'll make it so he's eligible. So, mate, I do think he was robbed, but I don't want to admit it.
There's a bit of passion in this response. I love it, mate. It's a good way to kick off. And if I can add a second part to it.
Please.
What do you think it was about his 38 possession performance which put him down the pecking order from, say, Lockie Ash? Was it impact on the game? Was it perhaps he flopped a couple of times? There's been a bit of commentary around that, mate, as well.
Well, it's a great point as well. I don't know. I just think the 38 touches is pretty good in a game like that. So I think he deserved it. Yep. What put him up? I don't know. Lockie Ash was pretty impactful. He only had 25 touches from memory, but they were good touches. He had, I think, when I looked at the stats, I reckon it was about half the game time of Nick Dacos. So
coverage too.
Yeah.
It's pretty big.
So I think he was pretty good in the amount of time he played. So it was deserving. It was deserving.
Yeah, I definitely can argue that, mate. I think he was watching the game live. Lockie Ash, pace off half back. He really just sort of set up the game for them from back there.
Now, mate, I get to ask the next question. It's the exact same one. Do you think Nick Dacos was stiff not to get the BOG for Vic in the State of Origin game?
My head says yes, but my heart says absolutely not. Take it away from him as much as you say.
For reasons above?
No, he was stiff, man. I pretty much agree with your sentiment, really. I mean, to rack up that much footy in a ground full of all-stars, essentially, is a pretty good performance. But impact on the game for me has always been the question mark on Dacos.
Yep.
I think when it's going well for Collingwood, he's generally winning a lot of footy and doing damaging things with the football. However, mate, when it's not going in their favour, don't think he does enough of the hard stuff, to be honest, in those close games. I like to see him play a bit more in terms of contested footy rather than just winning some of the outside footy myself.
It's probably fair to say he gets a lot of junk ball, I would have said.
Yeah, he racks it up off halfback. Yeah, definitely, mate. So that's my take on it, mate. Pretty much in line with you there, buddy.
Love it. All right. Okay. Yes. Have you got another one?
I do, mate. We're going to jump into the AFL season predictions a little bit later, but this one wasn't in the coverage of the AFL season. Who do you think is going to be a team that dips down the ladder this year, mate?
Dips down the ladder.
So we'll talk about the big rises and the Smokies later, but who do you think could be on the nose a bit, mate?
I think it's a team we've just spoken about, Collingwood. They've been good for a fair while now, but they weren't as good last year.
Yeah.
They sort of dipped off at the end of the year. Their stars are getting older. You look at guys like Pendlebury, who I believe will be turning 39 this year. I could be wrong there.
Yeah.
Side bottoms getting older. Degoe is probably right in the pocket, I would say, at the moment. But I think overall they're the oldest list. Still a lot of guns, but I just think they might dip off a bit.
I tend to agree with you, mate. Can't argue with that logic. They sent, to your point, fell away really badly when the few of their senior players started looking a bit tired mid-season, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Sidebottom was a banker early, then he went off the boil. So, they fall away pretty quick once that cream gets injured or, those senior players don't make it, mate.
Also, the talk around Nick Dacos as well, obviously he's contracted at the moment, but there's rumours brewing about Tasmania. So you never know what could happen in the next year or two. So maybe a little bit of animosity might start to creep in. That's just me thinking out loud.
I think he'll probably stay there, get double the salary, and then they'll have salary cap issues and not be able to retain some of the others. That's my preview.
Okay, so it's all good news.
The old man's not going to let the Dacos legacy, head down to Tassie, is he?
But you think about what they're going to offer him. It's going to be the richest contract ever, so it'll be an interesting one.
You pull him away from the cafe strip and
it's a good question.
Promos.
I've got one more for you, mate. Do you think there's a risk of State of Origin not proceeding next year due to the injuries sustained?
So specifically for those who didn't tune in closely, we obviously saw Jacob Wiedering in a pretty heavy collision there. A couple of bodies landed on him. He was heavily concussed. There seems to be some lingering effects there. We saw Calamarche with a slight hamstring strain. We saw Georgiades, only played half of footy.
Yep.
Which cooked our multis, but separately. I do think there's a risk, mate. I think that it's too small a sample size to kind of gauge one game and, say, we had 3 injuries. I think you need multiple kind of use cases to understand whether it's a long-term risk or not.
Yeah.
But those players are up for it. They voted for the game. They put their money where their mouth was and volunteered to play and played at a very high standard. I'd be surprised after the exhibition we saw on Saturday night whether they just bin the concept and take the conservative approach. It just seems like a waste of momentum.
Tend to agree. And once we hit this preseason stage where it's a few weeks out from the season, even with practice matches, they're pretty much playing full contact anyway. So
exactly,
you can get injured in State of Origin and just treat it like a practice match, or you can get injured in a practice match.
That's a much better answer, eh?
Yeah, so
I love that.
They don't happen very often.
No, that was very nice.
Well, that's our questions of the week. As we said, get in touch. We've got the Insta there as always. Also jump on our Facebook group. There's a lot of plugging in the socials today, mate. But I reckon we got to get people on there again.
Oh, for sure, mate. We're starting to whack the content back up there. So we're just letting everyone everyone know that it's started and get around it, mate, 'cause that's where the tips are going. And had quite a few people screenshot the multis from Saturday night, so people are paying attention, mate.
Loving it. Now, mate, hero of the week. We're going to rip into this right now. And we've got another one from the Super Bowl. Yes, I know it's a couple of weeks old now, but this emerged during the week, and I think it's genius. There's been a lot of talk whether it's actually moving into the line of cheating. The only people who are worried about that are the gambling companies, I think, because get a load of this guy. So a gambler who runs an Instagram page called Gambling with the Boys, at Gambling with the Boys if you want to check it out, sat out the front of Levi's Arena for sound check of the national anthem. Now, this guy, he was committed. He was bunked in for a couple of days. Like, he basically said, we know it's going to happen sometime over this next day or two, so I'm going to be here. And that was the sound check for the national anthem. So what he did, him and his mate, quite literally sat there with the timer. They heard the sound check of the national anthem ramp up. They finally heard it. Clicked the timer on, worked out that it was going to be, I think it was a minute 40 or something. Does that check out?
Yeah.
Loaded up on under 117.5 seconds. Won. So they didn't actually say how much they put on the bet. They just hid that a little bit.
Yep.
But they won the bet. They got the line, and it is genius. It's commitment, and you'd hope they loaded up given how much they put on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not quite as committed as the streaker, but it's definitely up there, isn't it?
Oh, it's
Mate, the
that's
2
really up
days
there.
invested to wait for the sound check. Hopefully he had a few shackles on to make it worth his time.
I know.
I dare say these things, though, they'll tend to get around the group a little bit too, I reckon. So he would add his bet on, make sure he got the price, and just send out a few tidbits to the boys to get amongst it too. So collectively, mate, they might have had a nice little kitty.
That could be true. As a man who works for a betting company, do you applaud this behaviour or do you not like?
Well, a lot of these markets, as a man with my Tab Touch hat on, I would say that we don't dabble really in these novelty markets anyway.
Yes, okay.
So these new emerging companies like Polymarket and a few others that bet on, how many times Trump will shake someone's hand, for example. If you're going to dabble in those markets, you open yourself up to this kind of stuff, and they'd be their coffers would be full. So
yeah,
it's one for the people.
I find it interesting. A lot of the betting companies, I know with Sportsbetter in particular, they won't let you bet more than $20 on it.
Nah, novelties. Nah, they won't touch them.
So they're never losing much. So if that's the case, because this was in America, obviously, and that kid sat out the front of Levi Stadium for 2 days, he may well just be dickhead of the week.
He made $40, but he was trending now because of the story.
Congratulations.
Now, mate, I'm going to throw an impromptu hero of the week that I haven't even put in the notes here.
I love it.
Because I was listening to a band on the way here from Perth, and I was listening to the Triple J Hottest 100.
Yeah.
Go on to me with this, right? So we love a homegrown hero. Spacey Jane, man.
Oh, okay, cool.
3-4 songs in the top 20 in the Hottest 100. That album of theirs is fire, bro.
Wow.
So to me, 4 songs, top 20, Hottest 100, Spacey Jane, out of Perth. Great rock band, seen them live, absolutely amazing. They're just doing everything right, mate, at the moment. So they've got to be hero of the week for me.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Homegrown love.
A little bit on Spacey Jane. I remember about 2 years ago they did really well in the Hottest 100, and I must admit, I used to be really on the pulse with music, and I've taken my finger off a bit. Didn't know that they had music out this year.
Yeah, they got a whole new album out, released in December, I think it was, last year.
Gotcha.
Now doing a national tour. You can get your tickets. No, I'm just spaceyjane.com.au.
Thank you very much to our sponsor, Spacey Jane, this week.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, if you want to sponsor the podcast, let us know.
It's called Punt Pals. But no, they're awesome, mate. And it's an elite performance, really, to have that many songs off your album in the Hottest 100 in itself. So well done, boys.
Love that from you, mate. Love that from you. Now, you were on the multi-train last week. You put these together. So give us the rundown. You had 2 multis for the State of Origin. One was a mixed multi. One was a goal scorer's multi.
Yeah.
How did they go?
Well, I was always going to be a risk betting on the State of Origin, right?
Oh, yeah. I think it's more a fun market.
Yeah, we got excited by the inflated prices. Copped a bit of flack for the Cribs handballs 14 plus.
I liked it. I loved that.
Well,
you actually caught me a bit of stick about it.
Well, yeah, a few people sort of jumped on the socials and said, look, mate, where do we even find 14 handballs? But, mate, it got up, so.
There you go.
Got up, yeah.
There
Anyway,
you go.
the mixed multi, mate, let's go through it. Bond 20 plus, no problem at all. Jakey Waterman ended up kicking a couple. Too easy. Noel Anderson for 20. Looked shaky. Got there in the end.
Love it.
Line. Cribs 14 handballs. Absolutely. Butters 20 posies. Yep. We get to the only goal scoring leg in the multi. Touted by Gary Lyon to be potentially the best player in the league as of the end of this season. Open the Vicks, of course. And I'm talking about Sam Darcy at 200 centimetres. Dominant forward. Supply galore. Goalless.
How does it happen? How does it happen?
Mate, just going through the motions if that happened.
He almost took a rib snorter of a mark, though. Did you see his one-hander almost goal square?
Yeah. I mean, credit to TB, Tom Barras, who I thought probably wasn't going to be able to contain the majority of those big key Vic forwards. He did a marvellous job.
Yeah, he really did.
He was everywhere. So Darcy couldn't get it done. One leg fail at a 750 multi. As I said, didn't look interested at times. Looked lethargic, didn't really seem to put his body over the ball as much as you would like from a State of Origin game. So there were some going at 100% and a few that didn't really have 100% of a crack at it, mate.
Interesting point on that mixed multi. I remember it's not a direct quote. I'm paraphrasing here, but you said, I'm not putting Darcy in both. I'm only putting Darcy in one because we've learned our lesson before. Learned our lesson?
Well, we did because we didn't put him in the other one, but it's not too much good news on the goal scorer multi. Sophie Green, anytime, no problem. Mitch Georgiades injured half-time, didn't play the rest of the half, so bet got refunded. Anyway, voided. Waterman kicked his goal. Luke Jackson kicked his goal, and Gunston for 2+ let us down. So Gunston and Darcy, top 5 goal-kicking forwards in the AFL last year, both go goalless on a night, including where Gunston's hand passed the ball over the top in the square to someone else to rub salt into the wound. So had a small play in each of those, mate. They were entertaining nonetheless, and to go down by one leg in a State of Origin game with no form lines really going in, I thought it wasn't too bad, really.
That was pretty good, wasn't it? And to be honest, it got voided, so that was very nice. Yeah. And you know what? If Georgiades gets there, maybe it inspires Gunston and we get that.
Yeah, well, that's right, mate. Yeah, no, it's those goal kicker ones. I think there's a small lesson in it, which is that the possession legs are always a lot more safe than the goal kicking legs.
Yeah.
It is. Occasionally got to throw one in, don't you, mate?
Oh, you got to have a bit of fun with it, mate. Because the one you don't throw in is the one that gets up usually, but also the one that you throw in is the one that takes you down.
Every time.
It's a Mugs game.
It is a Mugs
we love
game.
It.
And the game that wasn't a Mugs game was that bloody game on Saturday night, mate. Here in Perth, sold out Optus Stadium, 60,000. Just an enormously amazing event to attend. Something I remember for years and probably tell stories down the track. One of those kind of nights, mate.
Oh, yeah. It's nice when you're in the silver service area, though, isn't it? In the nosebleeds, it was still pretty good. But
the beef cheek and slow cooked meat was pretty good, mate.
Beauty.
So that was cool. But, mate, just want to get your thoughts on the game more generally speaking, because it was an amazing night, wasn't it?
Mate, absolutely loved it. I thought the vibe was epic. In the nosebleeds where I was, the crowd was absolutely loving it. They were lapping it up. Thought the plays went really hard. There was a lot of discussion. You and I really looked into that last week. But free-flowing footy, you could really see the passion of all the players playing for their state. And even after the game, they were very much sort of spruiking how much they loved it and how much they want to do it again. Maxie Gawn said he wants to play in SA next year. He said, we'll do WA on the way home, we'll do SA. So that's good.
Didn't Maxie Gawn also rip Bunbury last year?
Yeah, he did. Oh, we've forgotten about that.
Is he taking the piss a bit by saying he was stopping Adelaide on the way home? They were supportive of that, mate, for sure.
He sounded very excited about it. Hogan kicked 5, obviously. Coleman medal form there, which we'll talk about later. The one thing I want to talk to you about, mate, I'm going to start following my wife Alana's multis, I think, because she pulled out a ripper. Get a load of this.
Keep the receipts here, haven't you? Too?
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't read that. Anyway, it was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 leg multi. I believe she had $10 on it, which means it was paying about $22.50. She raked in 250 odd bucks. And I've put the picture of it in too small, so I can't actually read it. So I'm not going to go through the legs. But
there's a few in there. There's big names. You got Nick Dacos, Paddy Cribs, Bailey Smith, Noah Anderson, Zach Butters, Zach Merritt. I mean, all the big names in there, really.
Pick who's older here. Obviously me.
What, the eyes?
You could read that. I can.
Yeah, no, mate, your eyes are good. Hearing, not so much.
But it was a good effort, mate. And just to add to that, she won $600 on the lotto Saturday night. So maybe we'll add lotto into Punt Pals podcasts going forward.
Alana, trending.
Trending. It was a good Saturday night.
Can we find her on Sportsbet? She got a profile?
Robbie's wife. Maybe not.
Mrs. Bond.
Mate, that's my thoughts on the Origin. Anyway, what about you?
Well, apart from the FOMO and Alana's huge multi, reflection, mate. What a game of footy. So clean, so fast, so skillful. Exactly what you want from an exhibition game. And if you tuned in as a borderline fan or even from overseas to watch that game, you think far out. Like, these guys are just at the top of their game. So, initial sort of reflections, weird watching Sarong run out there for the Vicks.
Oh, hey.
And then kicks the sealer as well, which just felt odd. And even he didn't know whether to celebrate after, almost.
Yeah.
It was strange, wasn't it?
Well, which is quite sad for him in a way because, it was a great effort. It was an awesome moment, but he didn't want to celebrate too hard in front of the WA crowd.
No, it was
weird.
It was strange. So there were some really weird angles to it. Punting was, more specifically, a pretty successful night for the punters all round. Like, if you'd left your goal scorers out and you put some of those goal kicking mids we spoke about last weekend, you would have got a tasty multi.
Love that.
So it was a pretty decent night for the punt. I think it was a good season preview to see where some of those players are at. To your point, Jesse Hogan, he's certainly shaken off those preseason foot concerns in a dominant performance, 5 goals.
Has he ever?
No, stop him, really. After one Wiedering got injured, I thought he's just going to lick his lips here, and he did. And then punting story from the night, we had the VIPs obviously up in the box.
Yeah.
They obviously love a punt, mainly racing, but there's a few that dabble in sport. Mm-hmm. This one guy said, this game's going to be a shootout. Let's go and put some money on the total game score going over 207 points.
Right, okay.
$3.20.
Oh, nice.
And I can't confirm or deny the size of the bet, but it was substantial.
Yeah.
And by about halfway through the third, it was saluted, and it was just, how long have we got over the bar here? Let's just launch into as many beers as possible.
Hello.
So they all had an absolute fill-up, and to be around that collective fill-up in the box when the game hadn't even finished and WA was still getting into it, there was a double whammy of WA now within a sniff, and everyone had just won on the punt, and the beers were flowing. And it was just an amazing night, man. I thought to myself, how can you shelve this concept now after the success of it landing in WA in a sold-out capacity?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we might be dreaming, mate, but could it be like a gather-round where you just leave it in WA because it ain't broken, don't fix it, and just sell the bloody game out for the next 3 years, secure the sponsorship dollars, the tourism stuff, massive for WA, through all the advertising, as you know. Just keep it here.
I agree. And good maybe just good weather as well, perfect for footy. I think they should just bring everyone, like South Australia over, the Allies, do it full-blown round robin.
Yep, expand the team slightly, include the Allies, SA, and just make it maybe a few games over the weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
And they'd still sell out two games. Easy, no problem.
Yeah, no dramas at all. I reckon it's great. Oh, one more little note on State of Origin before we move on. I was actually there with Jesse Hogan's cousin, and he gave me, and this is punting to a T, he gave me a bit of insider information on the day. He's like, he's on limited minutes. They're just bringing him back from that injury. So,
right.
And I was like, oh, yeah, all right. I won't punt on him for a goal scorer then. Bloody hell. Yeah. I should have gone the other way. I tell you what, though, we were pumped. I don't think his cousin was expecting that. So it was a pretty big day.
Yeah, well, I didn't have him in my goal kickers, and I said, be careful if Dacos might spend some time on the bench. Had 38 posies. So.
He didn't see the bench.
Those who study it intrinsically don't seem to land the multis at times, but that's footy, man.
Yeah, it is footy. But you know what? That's punting, that's footy, that's bloody life. Every now and again we get a big winner and it makes it all worth it.
100%, mate. So that's State of Origin, but the real main event's coming up, isn't it?
Yes. So our AFL predictions for 2026. We've put a lot of thought into these. We did them last year and we both missed our little predictions and our multis that went with it. only narrowly in the end. So we're going to do Premiership, Brownlow, Coleman, Rising Star, the Bolter, and then a few other little things in there as well, which we've seen fit. So, mate, do you want to go first?
I'm happy to open the batting, mate.
Go on.
So to your point, last year, I think we put three of them together, the Premiership, the Brownlow and the Rising Star. Missed by one of those legs, which was disappointing in not finding the Premier, but the other two saluted. So you can have a look at these as a combination. You can put them all in. We'll give you the odds for every single one of them rolled into each other, but feel free to take two or three of them because at this stage of the season, mate, it is very juicy, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's worth actually just throwing a few things out there and just seeing if they stick. Because you're right, every single bet that you take is going to be juicy at this time of the year. So just have a crack. You don't have to put the house on it. Put $5.
No, that's it, mate. And I mean, as we work into them, I'll try and give a little bit of rationale around why I think these are good picks as well. So
love it.
It's not just to throw at the stumps, but I think my first one for the Premiership, hard to look past Brisbane again. It's the obvious choice, but when you add in Oscar Allen, who is having a pretty good pre-season by all account, and probably adds 40 goals to their side, you bring back Kitty Coleman, who's got through a couple of inter-club pre-season games now off half-back, elite user of the footy, in my mind, could be in their best 18 round one. Lincoln McCarthy's back on.
Oh, Link, yeah.
So he's crumbing at Oscar's feet. And then you look at the emergence of the likes of Levi Ashcroft, who will take another step forward. There's a number of them will go into the midfield off half-back as Lockie Neal sort of approaches his twilight years. I think, mate, they're just going to be better again. $4.50 just seems a ridiculous price for a dual premier 2 years in a row. And I couldn't find any argument to suggest they're not going to be around the mark again, really.
Yeah, I like it.
They've still got a young profile team. They're not a Collingwood that half your list is 35 plus. They're all still in the sweet spot, and I think they've still got a lot of consistency to find. Guys like Rayner, who bob in and out, I think they're going to become more bona fide, consistent players, and their best is still good enough to beat anyone, and they can come back from big deficits. They tick all the boxes.
And they just haven't really lost much. Archie's gone and Devon Robertson's gone.
Both Devon Robertson, depth player. Archie, obviously a good finals player, but they lose him and gain potentially Oscar Allen, who's going to replace his goals.
Yeah, and Sammy Draper as well.
Sammy Draper.
Boy, so
got to be a lingering injury at the moment, may not be ready for round one. So, yeah. Mate, they're definitely my Brownlow, my Premiership tip. Sorry.
Who you got for the Brownlow?
Brownlow, Bontempelli, man.
Oh, you reckon he's finally going to get it done?
It's the justice man in it, you know? I watched him, and I'm probably recency bias too, watching him run around on Saturday night.
He's very classy.
He's huge, man. This is the way he can win the ball inside. He can take it from congestion, and his polish inside 50 when he finds a player forward of the ball. I expect the Dogs will have a massive year, which plays a role in this.
They should with their list. They got a bloody good list.
You got to win enough games, I reckon, to win a Brownlow, and that's the knock on some of those teams like a Dacos. Do they win enough games with Collingwood slide?
Yeah.
So I looked past the first two or three because their insides are a bit suspect, and it left me with Bontempelli, and I think he's due, and I think he was pretty unlucky. He missed a big patch of footy last year. He would have been around the mark. So $8 is a price I couldn't refuse. Coleman. Hard to, again, look past the state of origin. Ben King was pretty dominant, wasn't he?
He was very good. Yeah, four goals?
Yep.
4 goals, yeah.
And doesn't miss him either. He takes his opportunity. So Jeremy Cameron, still a little bit suspect with that broken arm. No contract at the moment. Ben King looks like he's going to be in a side like Gold Coast who will go up the ladder, I think.
Yeah.
They'll win a lot more games, which means he'll get more supply. Those other key forwards around him are quite young, Ethan Reid and Jed Walter. They'll come on again, which takes some pressure off him. So all adds up to a nice Coleman bet there at $7 with Ben King. Rising Star, Dersma, haven't seen much of him, but what I have seen in the pre-season, he's a ready-made AFL footballer.
He looks ready to go, doesn't he?
He can play multiple spots. I think he can go on the wing. He can play in the midfield probably through minutes. So hard to see him getting pipped at $13 for the Rising Star, which is a ridiculous price.
It is. But the Rising Stars are interesting because the favourite doesn't always win it. Just injuries come in, depends the makeup of the team. Dersma playing for West Coast means he'll probably play a lot of games.
Yeah.
Which gives him a lot of chance if he doesn't get injured.
Yep. And if he doesn't get injured or rubbed out.
Yeah.
Levi Ashcroft, interesting, was my tip last year. I think he finished second.
It's close. It was a bee's deal.
I remember who picked him.
Murphy Reid, your
Murphy Reid, my boy, yeah.
It was a gun.
That was the omen. Really.
It was Murphy Reid.
It was.
Yeah.
Kicked those 4 goals in that game. So it is a tough marker, but you're getting some juicy odds there. The bolter for me, it's not really a bolter, but The boys who knocked us off last year, Gold Coast.
Yeah.
They are pointed in every single market. Top four, I market that was the shortest.
Yeah.
Like $1.83 to make top four. But I just think they're going to take another step forward. I think there's a lot of doubts on them whether they can back it up year to year. But their list is exciting. They beat some of the bigger teams away from home last year, which was a litmus test I look for Malta. And I expect they'll be a lock for the top four this year.
Well, it helps when you pick up Petrarca and Thingo from, what's his name, from the Bulldogs? The big boy. He's been out for a year.
Jamara.
Jamara, yeah. Pick up those two in the forward line. Hello.
Who's flying too, apparently. Got himself on the straight and narrow. So if you look at that multi, so Brizzy, Premier, Bontempelli, Brownlow, Coleman, Ben King, Dersma, Rising Star, and Gold Coast to make the top four. You get a lazy 5,995 to 1 non-boosted. If you boost it, you're at 7,185 to 1.
I love that. That is a nice bet, mate.
So just take a few, I don't know, the thing here is just take a few combinations of things and whack $1 on a few of them and just follow the season with some interest, mate, before we get into your opportunities.
Love that. All right. So I'll start off with my premiership for this year. And do you know what? To be honest, I've locked it in now, so I'm going to I've already put the bet on. But I put Fremantle in there. I just think that it could be the year where the stars align. Very similar to Gold Coast, who I'm also kind of thinking in the back of my head could be a bolter this year and actually win the premiership. Their list, epic. Like on every line for Fremantle, you have got a gun player. The big boys are overstocked, so you're always going to have a battle to get into that side. Midfield, you've got Brayshaw, Daniel, Young. Brayshaw, Caleb. I always call Caleb Sarong Caleb Daniel for some reason.
Yeah.
Caleb Sarong.
Yeah, so wrong.
And Young. So you've got those three plus your other guys backing up.
Erasmus.
Johnson.
Yep.
Yeah, all those boys. Yeah, and then the back line as well. So, I mean, they got to be in the mix there. I think it's top four or bust for Freo. And if the stars align, they win the premiership at $15.
Man, so many AFL analysts I've heard over the last couple of years have had them as a premiership threat. I just wonder whether it appears.
Yeah, it's interesting.
There's talent's there on paper, but as we've seen with them the last couple of years, they tend to shit the bed in important moments, i.e. Gold Coast in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Brave Fay with Mac Andrew kicking the goal to beat us at home. So I think excuses have run out.
Yeah, it's top four or bust, and they should be up there.
And if they don't make top four, when you talk about the bust, it's coach probably gone. It's changes, I think.
He'd be very lucky to keep his job, I think. Not that we want to sack him at this time of the season, but they got to perform this year, mate.
Put that in on
Brownlow, I think the AFL really want Nick Dacos to win a Brownlow medal. I'm not even joking. $5.
Yeah.
That he's there. He's the poster boy they want. He needs a Brownlow for them to be happy. So I think somehow, some way, he's going to win the Brownlow medal this year at $5. For Coleman, after what I saw on Sunday night, Jesse Hogan is back, baby. $10. If he's fit all year, he wins the Coleman medal. He's big. He's dominant. He kicks as straight as anyone in the league.
Right.
Oh, mate, he's just a dead-eyed dick. So I think Jesse Hogan at $10 a great bet. I think I took him last year and he got injured for half the year.
$10 is a very good price there. I like that.
I like it. Rising Star Dersma. So same as you, I've put him in at $13 for all the reasons that you stated. The other one who is worth a look at, or probably the other two actually, Dyson Sharp from Essendon. He's second on the favouritism list at the moment.
All that.
Which is interesting because he looks to be very good. I think it's going to be hard for him at the Bombers because it's that same thing that Harley Reid had where if you're probably going to get catapulted into the midfield pretty early, makes it tough. Other one, Jagger Smith. He's a bit of an unknown from Carlton. He obviously missed all of last year, his rookie season. So he's still eligible for the Rising Star. Don't know what he's paying, but I think he's worth thinking about. But I'm taking Dersma. The bolter, Sydney Swans. I just think you look at their list as well. The fact that they didn't make the top 8 last year, and I think they might have come about 10th in the end, is criminal. They've added Charlie Curnow, so I don't have a market on them. I've just said they're going to be the bolter in general. If they're not in the top 6, something's wrong, and like Freo, they should be in the top 4 based on lists.
Yep, definitely.
Just want to throw one more in there as well. Will Essendon win a final? So we've got $15 for yes. No, it was paying about $1.17 or something.
Yeah, okay.
I'm taking yes. My boys are going to get it done this year because it's top 10 essentially. We have the knockout rounds and they're included as finals. It's been confirmed by our boy Andrew Dillon. So the Bombers will win a final this year.
They win the wild card. If we call it a final, I don't have to look at the betting terms here. The wild card's the final. But no, I mean, jokes aside, mate, regardless of the wild card round, I don't think you can really look at last year as a season to build any form lines around Essendon. They were pretty much fielding a VFL side for 7 rounds.
Ravaged. It's easy to forget that.
Yeah, a lot of promising young talent. A few guys that are under the pump that need to either save their AFL careers or perhaps move aside for some others. So it'll be a season-defining year for them. Quickly, just to circle back, mate, Sydney Swans, $2.37 to make the top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And Jagger Smith, mate, coming off that ACL, obviously $2.75 favourite for the Rising Star. So risky market to take a guy off an ACL at $2.75 for the Rising Star when you've got guys like Dersman around him at $13.
It is. It's very risky.
But maybe have a saver on him if you're going to go down that route.
I think it's worth having a little bit of a look. And I don't mind with these multis. Oh, sorry, my multi comes in at 23,150. Power played it and it went to 136,794.
Wow.
Can you believe? How does a power play that much?
Confident. 5 times multiple in the power play. Either they're giving you an extra boost, mate, because you haven't been going too well, or I don't know, but that is ridiculous. Quickly, Sydney Swans. So Charlie Kerr now massive. Yeah. It's been their Achilles heel forward. I think Amadi just hasn't stood up to the test.
No, he hasn't been up to it. No.
Gordon was injured last year. He comes back.
And the young WA fella.
Chatty Warner?
Nah, the big boy up forward. We're too early in the year. I can't remember all the names.
Just deal with them.
He went like number 7 in the draft, Harley Reid year.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as we work out the name, you'll go, oh.
Come to me halfway through the podcast. So yeah, they've got a lot of upside, and also their captain last year was injured for the first 8 games due to a off-field incident, wasn't he? What's his name?
Oh yeah, he was too. That's right. I forgot about that.
So he's back as well. So yeah, mate. I mean, they're the smoky for sure. Hopefully, Coxie can get them up and about. They can bounce right back in the top 4 they were the prior year.
Let's see. Let's bloody see. I don't know. Like, you look at it on paper and you say they should, but stranger things have happened that they won't do it.
That's it, mate.
Now, mate, let's move on to the Blue Diamond in Melbourne. So this is at the Melbourne Racing Club Group 1 thoroughbred race for 2-year-olds. Set weights, run over 1,200 metres at Caulfield. Racecourse is right there at Caulfield. It's going to be a great one. The event is Victoria's richest 2-year-old race with prize money of $2 million. Now, this is the bit that I thought was absolutely hilarious, and it did the rounds on socials throughout the week. Kelly Holiday, a.k.a. he's one half of Peking Duck.
Oh, yeah. He's got a girlfriend or something. Hey, he's quite vocal.
Yeah, just a little bit. You know, from you, Triple J, Honest One Angel, man, that dancing too. Anyway, he was slated to play the after party, but he just mysteriously pulled out all of a sudden. And the reason he did was that a whole heap of people absolutely ripped the crap out of him. Benny Scarf was the biggest, racing influencer.
He's funny.
Oh, mate, he ripped into him. He's like, Blue Diamond, Melbourne Cup. It's not the same thing, but really, it's got to be close. And he's like, Abby Chatfield, what's going on here? Because remember, she absolutely ripped the hell out of it.
She taught the hell out of welfare of horse racing, yeah.
Oh, she did.
And to the cup.
Said we were disgusting anyone who likes horse racing, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, as soon as all that started trending, Kelly Holiday very quickly pulled out of the Blue Diamond, so he's not doing it. Entertainment this week.
Yeah, I mean, the irony and the modern age we live in with social media, everyone keeps their receipts.
Yep, they do. They do.
I mean, Kelly probably would have loved a quiet buck while he's riding the dancing 2-wave, but he won't be dancing on stage at Caulfield, mate.
Old Peking cuck. He won't be making it through this year.
I dare say he's not going to make it into the Hero of the Week in this year's podcast, but those who take the piss out of him may.
All right, mate, how are we seeing this race?
Oh, mate, this is always a race I pencil a long way out. I do get excited about racing at the best of times, but following the 2-year-olds can be really hard in this race. So it's not for the novice punter, really. I think you've got to follow the 2 prelude races which are run at Caulfield in the lead up to this one.
Interesting.
And you get a look at big fields in both of those. You can kind of size up where they're at, and then you're going to take the best of those 2 races and try and map them in a speed map and see how the race goes. So it's not for the faint-hearted, mate. But the importance of this race is winning colts in this race can go on to be worth 10 times their value almost immediately.
I love this.
So when you go to buy a horse at the sales, and we've both had horses.
Yeah.
What do the trainers want? You want an early 2-year-old runner, right?
Mm-hmm.
What better than buying a 2-year-old foal or a yearling that's had a mother or a father that's a 2-year-old Group 1 winner?
That's a big tick, isn't it?
It's a huge tick, man. So
massive.
So regardless of the race result, the impact for the breeding industry here in Australia out of this race can be massive.
Mm-hmm.
Some horses may win the Group 1, probably don't train on that well, and maybe tipped out to breed almost straight away. So if you look at some race names who won this race, mate, Boy, Redoja Choice, Sedative, everyone loves a 2-year-old Group 1 and winning horse, including myself, and it gives you the early prize money of $2 million to your point before, which gives you some options, mate, doesn't it?
Love that. Yes, it certainly does give you some options, my friend.
So the market as a Tuesday, being today, early podcast this week has Big Sky to win at $4.20 as a favourite. So it's still plenty of value around in the race. Second on the line of betting is Guest House at $6, and the next two are closer to free and Unit 5 at about $7. Now, Mick Price and Mick Kent Jr. have the two favourites in the race in Big Sky and Guest House and have trained 2 Blue Diamond winners already in their past. So huge. I like to look at trainers who are good with 2-year-old horses that target this race.
Yeah.
So it narrows it down really to the Freedmans and Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr., who have a really good record in this race. Kieran Maher does not.
Interesting, because he has a good record in every other race and every other race day possible.
Milers, the longer staying races, he's got an elite record in.
Yeah.
He saddles up Unit 5, which is in the market at about $7, and Milson's Point, which is a $21 shot. Don't like either of them, to be honest.
Right.
So my bets in the race, and we're going to go through a bit of a strategy in more detail here, but my best bet's are shortest way home at Big Sky at $4.20. 2 starts for 2 1s, 1 at the track, 1 in Stays Company last start. So I think he's definitely well placed. And the long shot, I'm not going to reveal because we're going to talk about it in a minute, but we found one at about $26 and it comes from the right stable and the Freedmans, mate.
Love that from you, and a bit of X Factor as well.
Yeah. So this race, we throw up some curly ones. You may see a rough outside. Look at the last 5 editions. There's rarely been a favourite at $2 to Luton. This one, they're 2-year-old horses. They do 2-year-old things.
Yeah.
Big crowds can, sometimes throw them off. So, throw together a couple of box trifectas and see how you go. But anyway, bets on the race, mate.
Fire away.
Let's give me yours because I'm going to throw yours into a same race multi as well.
Okay, love that. All right. So as I sort of did say to you, I haven't been on top of this, so I just did a quick read this afternoon just to have a look what's about. Now, do you say Zambales? Zambales. Seems really highly touted. I know he ran second in his last race, which was one of the lead-ups.
He did.
Freedman horse, as you mentioned, which is good. When I was looking, I think it was yesterday afternoon, it was $34. It's gone into 26 by the sounds of it. Honestly, for me, it's a bit of a hit and hope, but based on your analysis, it could be a very good hit and hope.
I think so. It's firmed from 34 into about 26, mate, now.
Nice.
So right stable profile, to your point. I think it ticks a lot of boxes, Zambalas. I'm going to take Big Sky to win as one bet.
Beautiful.
Then I'm going to have a same race multi with Big Sky top 2 and Zambalas top 6, because I think that the other horse that's in the market in Guest House, I have a very big opinion on that horse too. So I think Big Sky top 2 might be a bit more conservative. Zambala's top 6, you're probably still going to find $5-6 for that.
Ooh, I like that.
Which I think is a nice play in the race, and you've got to beat each way there in case Big Sky gets rolled.
That's a great play. I love it, mate.
And, mate, I couldn't let the other Group 1 races go by the wayside at Caulfield on the weekend. So I put together a real simple multi, 3-legged, mate.
Beautiful.
Big Sky to place in the Blue Diamond.
Yep.
Treasure the Moment, a horse we love, mate.
Oh, what a horse, mate.
Got a little bit long in the prep last couple of races of last preparation during that sort of Cox Plate time. So I wouldn't read into any of those. I think Treasure the Moment will win the futurity at about $1.80.
Brilliant horse.
And then Point Barrow in the other Group 1, which is the Oakley Plate for the place. So Big Sky place Blue Diamond, Treasure the Moment to win the futurity, Point Barrow to place in the Oakley Plate. You're going to get about $5.80. And I'm taking it to the bank because I had a similar one last week with 3 short price favourites. I'll send you the receipts and the screenshot of that one.
You did, and you went bang.
And went bang at about, I think it was $14. So
just before Origin too.
It was a good little fill up before Origin before I gave a bit back. But anyway, Robbie,
well done.
They're the 3, I think, mate. So follow those ones.
I'm taking it. Actually, well, it's on my mind as well. 3 very quick horse racing shout outs. So firstly, Via Sistina's retired. Yep. So we love that horse. We've been all over it the last 2 years, especially when it's just been a superstar. So Very good career there to be a Sestita. And also on the weekend, we had the 2-year-old and the 3-year-old Magic Millions in Pinjarra. So Marie Lucia won the 2-year-old and Twisted Steel won the 3-year-old. So well done there.
Yeah, Simon Miller's Twisted Steel was pretty impressive. It was a short cross favourite too.
Oh, mate, it is a good horse, eh? Future domination, I reckon, for Twisted Steel.
I think so, yeah. Right trainer. Simon Miller needs a horse like that at the moment, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Quite. So he'll burst on the scene with that one, no doubt.
Love it. Love it. Now, mate, one more thing that we're doing before we close out the podcast, it's something that we are introducing. We sort of half teased it last week. You've been working hard on how we're actually going to do this. It's the $1,000 challenge. So we're going to take $100 and we're going to turn it into $1,000. It's not going to take us to Vegas, but it might do some drinks at the pub for us, like a nice big day out. Maybe a belated Bucks day for you.
Well, exactly. I haven't had one. You do a post-event, surely. So, yeah, you're spot on. We're going to start with $50 each. So 100 is the kitty to begin. We'll be taking turns on who bets each week. So
Love
we'll
it.
alternate. So the pressure will be on one of us each week, then sharing the blame if we lose.
I love that. So we're going to start off by betting the 100-week one, or is it 50-week one? Or what's the game?
100-week one, mate.
Love it.
We're not going to set anything ridiculous in terms of odds, but I think we're going to be aiming for that sort of, $1.80 to $2.50 mark each week.
Yep.
It's going to be purely AFL bets only.
Yep.
And at the beginning, it's going to be head-to-head and line results.
Interesting.
So we're not going to be taking, WA player multis and stuff to try and get a little bit too funky. We're going to try and get some runs on the board early.
Yeah. And
even head-to-head bets can be hard early season. So we'll be looking for standouts and we'll be trying to double it up or at least, build on that kitty each week.
I was going to ask you that, sorry, before you go on. So you reckon we'll go about double up. So we'll go, 2-to-1 odds.
When we start to get sort of $500, we might then look at sort of $1.50 to $1.80 range.
Yep.
But initially, we're just trying to get it up to a decent kitty.
Love it.
And then, that's going to be to the mid-season break.
Yeah.
So our challenge is to get to 1,000 by the mid-season break.
Okay.
Which seems crazy, but it's only probably 8 or 9 double ups and you're there.
Yeah.
And then what we will do is we'll throw it to the listeners mid-season.
Yep.
We might probably have a bit of a booze up, I think, at our famous Irish bar there in Northbit.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, we'll head to Sir Henry's.
I'll split the G, whatever you want to do down there.
$10 Guinness there too, man. So it means that we can buy a lot of beer with $1,000.
Absolutely. And there's no footy on, so let's just get booze there. And then what we'll do, mate, is we'll probably take that 1,000 and we'll aim for 10,000 by the end of the year.
Aim for 10,000?
Yeah.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
You can start ambitious, and if we get 10K, it might be Super Bowl / Vegas. I don't know, mate. We'll spitball some ideas.
Okay, cool. If we get there, I'm sure we will find a very worthwhile way of spending a $10,000 kitty.
So yeah, going to be a lot of effort going into finding the standouts here in footy. And what we're probably going to do, Robbie, as a little tactic, is we're going to take the head-to-head and line bet odds as soon as they come out earlier in the week.
Oh, I like it.
Because they were getting thumped in post-team announcements on Thursday, and I think you just lose the price. So
I did notice that last year. You weren't getting very good odds anywhere, were you, for head-to-head bets?
No, you weren't, especially out of post-teams on Thursday. Everyone's starting to get on their markets and know what the weather's looking like. So anyway, I reckon there's a couple that we're going to find early, and I'm feeling good about it. And to be honest, guys, if you don't agree with our bets, give us some banter on the socials. And
all right, sorry to interject here, but I'm just off the golf course. I went to edit the podcast, and unfortunately, about the last 3 minutes has not filtered through properly. So that's it for the potty. It's been a good one. Thank you very much for getting involved. Now, you can follow us on the socials. That's pretty much all you missed. So at Punt Pals Pod, Instagram. You can also search us on Facebook. Follow us on your favourite streaming service as well. And we'll chat to you next week. So shoot your questions through and everything. Me and Risto will be back on the pod next Wednesday. Enjoy until then. Happy punting. Catch ya.